Yes, hello. Today we're going to be analyzing my arch nemesis, Jasin, my arch nemesis, who I'm putting out little feelers on him, little things here and there, but I've not made an official video yet about Jasin. This will be the first of many.
Address this. The other one, and I should address this, because people do, surprisingly enough, get real hung up on this. No fap. People have been obsessing over this for, it seems like, thousands of years. Men, specifically.
So, one of the primary things that is separating a magician of my caliber from a phony, albeit decent historian at times, but a phony magician. No question about that. The main difference between us, I won't say main, it's one of many. He diminishes the power of semen retention. He doesn't know that it works. And yet he's charging people thousands of dollars to be a spiritual force in their life that they pay for. It's not like he's just helping out the kind of his own heart and he's like, I don't think semen retention works. He's saying, I'm the best magician teacher that you could have. Here's all my information. Thanks for the $1,000. Semen retention doesn't work. That's what you're gonna hit me with. So then I asked for a refund. And Jasin has not obliged. Bought his class, realized that he couldn't possibly know shit to be doubting the power of semen retention. Again, it's fine if you're like a health guy or if you are anyone who's not claiming to have psychic powers, basically, or claiming to be otherworldly connected. No one else I would fault for being wrong about this. This guy has no excuse. I would say no excuse, but it's no grounds. Like, what gives him the nerve? What gives him the nerve? That's the first thing you should know when you're going to start charging people semen retention. That's Magic 101. It's the most powerful tool in magic. I won't say most. It's as powerful as meditation and working out and eating right. It's fine if the modern science hasn't caught up to that yet. He is not supposed to be representing the modern science. He's supposed to be going beyond the realm of science while still constrained within the boundary of truth. So it's still in truth, but maybe this is science up here in this corner. But there's all this out here that we're looking at. It's true, but it's not like scientifically documentable as of yet. But there's enough anecdotal evidence that we can see it, first of all, and then I have my own anecdotal evidence. So then that puts everything else out the window, right? Because it's my anecdotal evidence. I know it's true. So, yeah, we're just going to get into this little video where Jasin diminishes the power of semen retention. And I'm just going to kind of show you why this guy sucks. Let's get into it.
Particularly young men get really hung up on this idea of continence, shall we put it, when it comes to the meditative practice. how much do people really need to obsess about this? Not really, I would say. In terms of seminal retention, which is what we're talking about if you haven't figured it out yet, this is not something I would stress about for men.
What's interesting is Jason kind of implies here that you have to be a man to practice semen retention. He's saying you have to be for men. These are the people talking about the semen retention, wondering if it works. Asking him about it because he's such an expert. And what's interesting is that I promise you, his audience is the type to be pissed. They would be PO'd at him for saying semen retention for males. Just saying those words in sequence. His audience is the type to actually make a big deal about that. So that's kind of why that's my theory as to why he is taking this stance to begin with. His audience is so weak, just like he is, that they just can't stand the truth of the fact that semen retention works. Anyway, but because that's the ilk of people, it's the very cowardly, sort of not so sure of themselves. No, well, semen retention, we can't 100% prove it yet. No, we can't be on that side of that yet. No, it's very skimmishy. It's people that are frigid and you don't want anything to do with them, basically. You don't, but that's this guy's whole fucking audience. So he's having to kowtow to them. Guys, don't worry about it. Guys, don't worry about it. That thing that they've been talking about for thousands of years, just don't worry about it. I know you're paying me $1,000, right? But just don't worry about it. It's just, what am I supposed to get techniques for you and like new spiritual cool techniques? No. Don't worry about it, you guys.
What's the science on this? So, okay, well, the classic kind of like superstitious theory is that it's like losing blood, basically. And if you store it up for years on end, you become super powered and you get all this like focus and willpower and all of that. This used to be really popular with people who read the books of a guy named Montauk Chia, who wrote kind of Taoist books on this, It pops up from time to time. It's gotten really popular for some reason in the last 10 years in like the manosphere on the internet.
Yeah, the way he says that there. The manosphere. The manosphere. That scoff right there. That particular scoff, Jason, is your downfall. How could you not know? I scoff at your scoff. I scoff at your scoff, Jason. For you know not what it means. You know not what it means.
Of like people who follow Jordan Peterson. It's now they call it NoFap, which is why I said that. So you can find out all about this online. There's whole YouTube genres about this.
Yeah, wow. So he's right. That's how bad Jason Louv is. Even Jordan Peterson, the humble Jordan Peterson, 1,000 times the spiritual teacher as Jason. 1,000,000 times. I actually like Jordan, he has his moments. Jason has his moments too. I used to appreciate his work, which is why we've gotten to this point. But it was because of me giving Jason a chance in the beginning, because I saw some of his work was decent. Because of that, I really gave him a chance. Gave him his fucking $1,000 that he wanted so bad. And then but yeah, now that I have spent the money, the scam worked on me. Hey, I'm not perfect either. Because of that, I now have to say that Jason isn't as good as Jordan Peterson. I really don't think so. I think Jordan Peterson, net positive, more than Jason Louf. Much, much, much more.
About how, like, you know, they can shoot lasers out of their eyes now because about how, like, you know, they can shoot lasers out of their eyes now because
you hear that? He starts saying that's the cliche, shooting lasers out of their eyes now. If you're saying shooting lasers out of your eyes now, you might as well just tell me to go to my mom's basement for doing semen retention. That's what you're trying to say? Because no one was even claiming that you could do that. No one was saying anything about lasers. But I guess I just got to go back to my mom's basement, right? Because that's the genre of phrase that I think these two phrases are both in. I think the type of guy who says, oh, so you think you're shooting lasers out of your eyes because you practice semen retention? That's the same type of guy who's like, go back to your mom's basement. It's like that basic of a term, that basic of a phrase, rather, where it just comes naturally to these low energy males. They'll say things like this to deflect against real techniques like semen retention. It's all smoke and mirrors, people.
No fap. But you know, what's the actual science on this? Here it is, actually. If for men, if you do not ejaculate for a week, you will get a testosterone boost, a remarkably high one. That's true. That's at the 1 week mark. That's an actual thing. It's a one-time thing. It does not keep going up. It does not get better if you keep pushing it further. It's a one-time thing. It does not keep going up. It does not get better if you keep pushing it further.
This is very important because I want it to be noted the manner that he is saying this. He says it is a one-time thing. He says it does not keep compounding and getting better and better, even though he admits that the science is actually on the side of semen retention, which says that if you retain for a week, you get a very nice testosterone boost, very much needed one in Jason's case. Maybe you should give that a try. But he's saying that, and then he's saying, no, it doesn't keep going. And he's saying that as a very matter of fact. And so as a spiritual scientist, I am calling out this phony spiritual so-called scientist who is making these claims that are 100% provably not true.
So there is science to, at least on the testosterone side, and testosterone is not necessarily what you want all the time, by the way.
No, that is what normal, healthy males want all the time. But you don't want it. And we can tell. You, Jason, you don't want it. You don't want the testosterone. We can tell.
But on the science side, there you can get a testosterone boost, which does do some very good things like increase motivation and energy and muscular strength and things like that at the 1 week mark. But beyond that, you're not really getting any benefits.
Now, put yourself in my shoes as one of countless males, a growing number across this planet, whose lives were saved by semen retention. Saved my life. So when I had bought in this class, I wasn't even needing to know about semen retention. I already known about it. And figured that for sure this guy must. He's charging me thousands. He is claiming to be the number one most qualified teacher of magic on the internet. So I come to him and he's saying, no, there's no benefits past a week. He's not willing to go beyond, he's not willing to go outside of what he already admitted, that it undoubtedly works if you retain for a week. He's not willing to go beyond that, though, and say, hey, what else could happen? What else could happen? What else could happen? Are you purifying your mind? Are you not thinking about lustful thoughts? Are you detoxifying your mind of sexual depravity? He's saying, after a week, there's no benefits. And that is why you are a fraud, Jasin. And look, no one's saying you have to retain all the time. You don't have to be 100% perfect, but you should try for perfection. Should you not? And so if you can go months on end retaining, if you can go a year, if you can even go 2 weeks, twice as long as what Jasin here thinks is even fucking gonna do anything for you. You can go 2 weeks. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at yourself. No one's saying you have to be retaining forever. That's not my stance. But you should try to go as long as you can. That's it.
That said, the assumption that there is some massive spiritual or physiological or otherwise benefit from seminal retention for long periods of time is a point of religious faith. Okay, it is a faith claim. It is a spirit. It is purely out of mythology, right?
You know what else is a faith claim? That ceremonial magic is anything worth anyone's time at all. And that is what you are charging way more than, fuck, you shouldn't be getting a fucking penny. So you're charging people for that. And you're saying that works, but what's the difference as far as evidence goes between how much the science supports it for ceremonial magic versus semen retention? Let's put those side by side. That's when you start to understand how utterly ridiculous this faggot is. He's clearly only saying it because of the fact that his fans don't like it. They don't like the people that are talking about semen retention. That's the manosphere. That's not what we do. We're over here. We don't do that stuff. No. And so that's his fan base. And then he is forced to say stupid shit like this. God, what a fucking idiot.
So there's no science for any benefit past a week. And so don't wig out about it. You know, it's something to experiment with if you want, but I don't think that it is something. And also gurus I've worked with have basically said, just, don't stress yourself out about it.
Okay, so in closing here, I'll just say, broken clock's right twice a fucking day. Of course, not everything Jasin has ever said is terrible. He's landed on some good things he's copied from other people, but of course, nothing he originally comes up with is ever interesting. It's pretty much just a documenter, historical documenter. It's what he's decent at. Kind of wrote a book about John Dee, history of occultism and John Dee. That's what he's good at. He's not good at actual magical advice. And that's extremely clear. Because if he was, there's no reason this would be a video that I pulled from the class that he charged $1,000 for. In closing, I would like to formally challenge Jasin Louv, the bitch, to a debate about semen retention on his terms. Let's see if that pussy accepts my challenge. I doubt it. Until then, peace out.